When you open up Revit, the first screen that it takes you to is called the Recent Files page. It's files that you've recently worked on. Over on the left-hand side, it gives you the option to open up existing projects or to create a new project from scratch. Also, you have a few of your existing Revit templates available to you, an architectural template or a mechanical template, which is predefined settings for that kind of construction. Toward the middle, all the projects that we've recently opened up. If it's the first time that you've opened Revit, you probably have your sample architecture, structure, and systems projects. If you've opened up Revit before and then opened up other projects, then you'll see a listing of all those other projects that you've done in the past. For this example, I have this RAC basic sample project. The file that I opened up just a minute ago, it's on the list. Below our projects, we have our Revit families. Now, a Revit family is just a three-dimensional piece of content that has information associated with it. It could be something as simple as a desk or a chair, or something a little bit more complex like a door or a window, maybe even a piece of mechanical equipment or a structural column. You can open up existing Revit families as well as create new Revit families from this menu. Over to the right-hand side, we have our resources area. Now, these resources I usually like to think of as being help areas because it tells you what's new in the software. It gives you help information. It has a few essential skills videos as well as information related to the Exchange apps. Now, the Exchange apps link will take you out to an Autodesk website that has free add-on software that you can load in the Revit. Some of it you have to pay for. It'll say that once you get out there onto the internet and you can take a look at the different apps that may help enhance your functionality inside of the software. There's also the Revit community, which is a really good resource. The Revit community has people that have been using Revit for years. Type in your question, then within a few minutes, or in some cases a few hours, somebody with knowledge on that topic will usually write you back and let you know what the answer to your question is. Over on the far left-hand side, up at the very top, there is a button that I call the Big R. If you select on the Big R, which is actually the application menu, you'll see many of the same options that we had over in the gray area of the screen. And that includes the ability to create new projects, open up existing projects as well as other kinds of files, to save your current project, as well as save your current project as a different name, the ability to export out your projects as different file types, such as DWG files, DGN files, which are AutoCAD and MicroStation files, as well as IFC files, which stands for Industry Foundation Class. We also have options for the suite's workflows. Maybe you could export out your Revit model into programs like Autodesk Showcase, perhaps Navisworks, and then go from there. It's the workflow between the different software packages. You can publish your drawings to Autodesk Buzzsaw if you have a Buzzsaw account. An option for printing, and that's pretty self-explanatory. This is where you can set up all your printing settings as well as print your projects. And finally, there's an option here called Options. And if you select on the Options button, this will take you to all the general options that are associated with your session of Revit, such as how often does Revit need to save? What's your username inside of Revit? The way the user interface needs to look, and the way that graphics are displayed inside of the software program. But feel free, you can go right down this list clicking on the different headings in order to find out all the different options that you can set up associated with the software program. For right now, I'm just going to click on OK, and now go through the process of actually opening up a Revit project. We could either go to Open here underneath Projects, or go up to the big R, go to Open, Project, and then we need to go to our desktop and find Chapter 2. In my case, I'm already defaulting to Chapter 2. All you need to do is go over to the left-hand side, select on Desktop, go to your Working Files folder, which contains all the exercise files, Chapter 2, then select on the RAC Basic Sample Project. Come down and click on Open. It'll open up the first exercise file in this series.